Good evening. 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, May 6th. This is the regularly scheduled Board of Public Works meeting. I'm Adam Wason, Public Works Director for the City of Bloomington. We are at 401 North Morton Street in Bloomington, Indiana, and we also have a Zoom link on the, thank you, Miranda. We also have a Zoom link on the agenda as well with a meeting ID and a passcode. Do we have any members of the public on Zoom right now? We do. We've got one member of the public on Zoom, and we will start. If you do have comments and you are on Zoom, we'll use the raise hand or the chat function for any of those. There will be the opportunity for public comment under petitions and remonstrances for things not on the agenda, and then the various agenda items will have the opportunity for public comment as well. We did make some adjustments to the packet since yesterday with some of the maps and some of the documents. We were made aware that some of the plan set documents aren't fully accessible for online readers. So that's a note that we're trying to, that's a note to us that we're working on internally. There are some guidelines on that go into effect next year that we're trying to meet right now, and we're having some challenges there, but that was in particular on the plan sets for the Duke Energy. So we did try to update that in the packet and have some ways that we're going to work on that going forward. So it is 5:32 p.m. I will turn it over to Kyla Cox-Deckard, Board of Public Works President, and thank you very much.
Thank you. I call to order this regular meeting of the Board of Public Works this Tuesday, May 6th of 2025. First on our agenda, we have messages from board members. Do we have any messages from the board this evening?
Just one from me, just a reminder that at our next meeting week, I will miss the work session, and I'm about 50-50 for the actual meeting. I'll be traveling out of state.
Thanks. Next up, we have petitions and remonstrances. If anyone is in attendance and would like to make a public comment on something that is not on the agenda this evening, now is the opportunity to do so. You can use the raised hand function or the chat function on Zoom to let us know you'd like to make a comment if you are interested in commenting on something not on the agenda.
Nothing on Zoom.
Seeing none. We do not have any Title VI abatements for this evening. So next is the consent agenda. Under the consent agenda is Resolution 2025-033, Grand Falloon Main Stage Concert and Handmade Market. Resolution 2025-034, Fourth and Rogers Block Party. Resolution 2025-032, DTLD Pizza Inc., pushcart vendor for Domino's Pizza. Resolution 2025-035, pushcart license for Betty's Hot Dogs. Schedule update for building trades improvements. Temporary lane closure request for Carita's multifamily development by Strausser Construction. Update contract with Walker Consultants for parking rate study, and approval of payroll. Do we have any items that need to be removed from the consent agenda this evening? Do we have any public comments on anything within the consent agenda?
None on Zoom.
Okay. Seeing none, is there a motion on the consent agenda?
I move that we approve the consent agenda for tonight's meeting of May 6, 2025.
Second.
All right, I will call the roll. Carone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox-Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next, we have new business. First under new business is approve addendum number 4 to preliminary engineering contract for Hopewell West.
Hi there, Kendall Kanoki, City of Bloomington Engineering Department. This is a contract amendment for the Hopewell West Jackson Street project. Essentially, this is a $1,000 amendment. It's an increase in the total contract amount from $796,640 to $797,640. And this is essentially preparing documentation for a pedestrian access easement that's on the Centerstone property, which is owned by the Monroe County Commissioners. The reason for this is we were going to do a right of entry to do a curb ramp replacement on that sidewalk. Then we realized, hey, the public sidewalk is on private property. We actually need a pedestrian access easement to permanently formalize that sidewalk for access to the public. So that's the reason why this legal description and exhibit needed to be prepared, and then that'll go to the Monroe County Commissioners to get approved. Happy to answer any questions on this.
Thank you. Questions on this item?
What was the result of bringing this to the RDC meeting yesterday?
So this was actually not going to the RDC at all. The RDC is looking at a different item that is kind of related to another item that'll come to you guys, but it's not related to this agenda item, so.
Okay. So just the contract, but not necessarily this amendment?
Oh, I'm sorry, this is being funded by the TIF, so yes, this did go to RDC, and it was approved last night at RDC.
Okay, thank you.
Apologies, there was some confusion there with different
No
items.
problem.
Yes.
Other questions on this item? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve addendum number 4 to the preliminary engineering contract for Hopewell West.
Second?
All right, I will call the roll. Corone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox-Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next, we have acceptance of bond estimate for public improvements for plat subdivision at 1225 East Maxwell Lane.
Hi, Maria McCormick from Engineering. This is a bond estimate for a public improvement bond from a single lot subdivision. This is for replacement of sidewalks and a new drive cut for the lot that was subdivided, the second lot. This will cover their public improvement build-outs that are required as part of the subdivision.
Thank you. Questions on this item?
Maria, I think you answered my question. The second half of your sentence, you said a single lot subdivision, but it's two lots,
It is,
right?
It was
It's
a
one
single lot
split into two.
subdivided
Okay.
into two, yes.
Thank you.
Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
All right, seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve acceptance of the bond estimate for public improvements for plat subdivision at 1225 East Maxwell Lane.
Second?
All right, I will call the roll. Corone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox-Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Thanks. Next, we have approved lane and sidewalk closures for fiber installation by CSU Contracting.
Hi, it's Alex Gray from Engineering. So CSU Contracting is performing fiber optic installation. It's in connection to the Duke Energy substation that's over on South Rogers Street across from Switchyard. They're planning on going from the substation into the tree plots, going all the way south to West Country Club, going, it would be east, all the way to Walnut Pike, if I'm remembering correctly. Actually, I think it changes into Winslow first, Winslow, and then Walnut Pike, and then Walnut Street Pike. So then it goes all the way from Walnut Street Pike south towards Aurora Road, and then it continues into the county. But for our portion, it's just the city limits portion. But this part, for the whole project, they said that it was planning on going for the rest of the year pretty well until December 31st. Oh my, that light is something. So roughly 7 months, and most of the weeks they were saying they would pretty much work essentially 5 days, which would be like Monday to Friday, is what they had listed. More than likely, this is probably for their whole build out, so it may not actually be the whole 7 months in terms of city limits, but the project they mentioned would take 7 months.
Thank you. Questions on this item? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the lane and sidewalk closures for fiber installation by CSU Contracting.
Second?
All right, I will call the roll. Corone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox-Deckard, aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next is approved service agreement with Wise Building Solutions for repairing 27 ADA ramps.
Good evening, Adam Wason on behalf of Joe Van Deventer at the Street Division of Public Works. This is a service agreement with Wise Building Solutions to repair or construct 27 accessible curb ramps and sidewalk sections. And this is primarily down in the Pine Meadows, Pinehurst Drive, Sunny Slopes area, as well as Berks and Kennedy. So more towards the southeast and southern portions of the city. We solicited quotes or bids on this through an RFQ, and Wise was the low bid at $85,300. Groomer Construction, Milestone Contractors, and Weddle all bid as well, but Wise was the low bid at $85,300, and we'd ask for your approval.
Thank you. Questions on this item? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the service agreement with Wise Building Solutions for repairing 27 ADA ramps.
Second?
All right, I will call the roll. Corone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox-Deckard, aye. Motion passes. And next, we have approved service agreement with John Richardson Excavating to repair wooden bridge on 2nd Street.
This is in the amount of $5,560 to repair a pedestrian bridge on 2nd near High. And those repairs should be completed in the next day or two. So request your approval.
Thank you. Questions on this item? Any public comments on this item? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just, Adam, just for the record of the meeting, could you restate what you said yesterday about the long-term plan for that section of pedestrian?
Yeah, so this is this little pedestrian, this small section of pedestrian bridge, and I can't remember which two it's between Rose and I think the one to the west. I can't remember if that's which cross street that is. But it's a small section of a wooden pedestrian bridge. There's some trees right next to it. One of the trees fell in one of the recent storms in the early spring here. And so the long-term hope would be that we'd actually construct a sidewalk section there that would, there's some grade issues, some topography issues, but hopefully long-term that would be a good candidate for a big sidewalk project. There's no sidewalks to the north either. So, with the residential neighborhood and the elementary school nearby, I think long-term we'd look for a larger project in the area. And just full disclosure, we did authorize that work to begin. It's the section that it's on, it's a hill there, and so we needed that to try to expedite this as quickly as possible, so we made sure to do that through the purchasing process.
Thank you. Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
All right, seeing none. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve the service agreement with John Richardson Excavating to repair the wooden bridge on 2nd Street.
Second?
All right, I will call the roll. Corone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox-Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next, we have approved service agreement with H&K Maintenance for mowing.
So this is a service contract with H&K Maintenance for mowing and vegetation removal on public works through public works facilities. This is, after soliciting quotes, this was the lowest price per acre and lowest cost per hour, and we recommend awarding in the amount not to exceed $25,000.
Questions on this item? Any public comments on this item?
None on Zoom.
Is there a motion?
I move that we approve the service agreement with H&K Maintenance for mowing.
Second?
All right, I will call the roll. Corone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox-Deckard, aye. Motion passes. Next up is staff reports and other business.
Yes, good evening again. Just wanted to give a couple updates and reports of some recent activities. So we had a very eventful little 500 in Bloomington a couple weekends ago. I just want to really commend our public works staff and others in the public safety divisions. We had thousands of visitors in the community, large presence down on Kirkwood. We took some pictures of the before and after, but by I got down there, I think it was by 7:45, 8 a.m. on Sunday morning after being out late with managing some of our properties. But the overall sentiment of everyone walking down Kirkwood, when you would show them the picture of what it looked like 5 hours before and what it looked like after our crews had been there for a couple hours, was just simply amazing. Big shout out to Zach Souders in our facilities division, our downtown specialist, and the Brighton Bloomington crews with Centerstone. And then also we had extra staff from our sanitation division come in, and I simply couldn't believe my eyes when I got down there by 7:45 a.m. Sunday. It looked like church was ready to be. I mean, it was just it was spectacular how the effort they put into it. I was expecting I would be down there for most of the day with the crews, and we'd be cleaning up until about 5 p.m., and they had it all just spick and span very quickly. So big shout out to them. We are headed into summer paving and construction season. We were out on West 2nd Street doing some minor repairs. We're moving down to Tap Road. Through our street division website, we do have an active GIS map that shows where we're going to be paving this year. Recommend the public take a look there. And otherwise, we've got, I do want to send another big thank you out to all of the volunteers that participated in yesterday's downtown cleanup. About 90 volunteers met at the Buskirk Waldron, which one? Hill Park, I couldn't think of the third, formerly known as 3rd Street Park behind the police station. But we had volunteers meet there for the coffee in the morning and registration, and then we dispersed throughout the downtown, came back for some lunch. Big shout out to Fourth Phase Consulting and Lenny's and some other sponsors that really stepped up and made the event great. Soma provided the coffee in the morning as well, so thank you to them and all of the volunteers. We're ready to host for as what President Whitten referred to today as the Super Bowl of campus, every year's commencement ceremony. So we are excited for that, and all the guests and visitors that will be in town celebrating their graduates this weekend. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up is approval of claims. Are there any questions from the board on claims? Any public comments on claims? All right, seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve claims this evening in the amount of $660,065.38.
Second?
All right, I will call the roll. Corone?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard, aye. Motion passes. And seeing as there's nothing else on the agenda, I will call for adjournment.